Hi you guys, if you guys are new here, my name is JC. I was gonna start off this video by doing a get ready with me to go to church, and honestly the timing was all messed up. Christy accidentally told me 10:50 instead of 9:50, so thankfully it all worked out because by the time I was getting ready, she texted me and was like, I'm outside, so I had to literally just get dressed and go. But I wanted to come on here and actually talk about my experience and talk about how this whole past week has aligned for this date. I was going to do my makeup and I was going to get all nice and ready. God works in such mysterious, miraculous ways. I didn't even have this cross my mind at all. I didn't even think about the fact that I could start crying or that I'd get very emotional or anything like that. So when I woke up this morning, I was very excited to go to church. I was really excited because I was supposed to go last weekend. Let me backtrack. So last weekend on Friday, I ended up going down and getting some new ID. Last Friday, I was walking around. I had all of my ID in this stupid ass. Well, I love this. Don't get me wrong. I love this, but it's stupid because it doesn't close. It's not secure. It's very raggedy. But the reason why I love this so much is because I got it from my grandma. Which I live with my grandma, but I just cherish everything that she gives me, so I really love this a lot. And it's also a lot easier than carrying this huge wallet. So you guys, how stupid I was. I had this little pouch filled with, let me show you. I had my 3 credit cards, debit card, my social insurance, my status card, my license, and then my 2 IDs. I had all of that in there, and I was so stupid. The only reason why I had that much ID was because I was getting my status card made that day. I didn't have to have that much ID on me, but I did. So I got this made on that Friday. It's my status card. And you guys, as soon as I left and I walked up the res, basically, I ended up stopping at someone's place and I ended up staying there for a while, and long story short, they ended up going through my purse. They stole my wallet, and the only reason why I know it was a guy is because I had expensive ass makeup in my purse and they did not touch that. They didn't take my purse, they didn't take the makeup, they only took my wallet, which was this thingy that had all of my stuff in it, all of my medication that I had gotten for the weekend, my sunglasses, they took all my candy, all my chocolate, all my sweets, and I knew who it was. I definitely knew who it was. So after I realized I didn't have all my stuff in my purse, I started getting frantic and I started looking around. There's other people there, and to be honest with you guys, I was in so much disbelief. And it was crazy because they didn't take my phone, but I do have a lock on my phone because I've had someone in the past take my phone and unlock it with my face and go in my phone and take screenshots and everything off of my phone. Now I have it set up so that it's just a straight up passcode lock no matter what. So I feel like they tried to take my phone, but they realized that they can't get into it, so they just left it. They did take off the crystal pop socket I had on the back though. They ripped that off. But yeah, it was a lot, I'm not gonna lie. I completely learned a deep lesson. Everything I owned in order to live in the physical real world was taken away. My credit cards, my ID, everything I needed to fix my life was now gone. At this point, you guys, I kept holding on to faith. All right, and this is why I'm talking about this, because this ties into church. That I did call the police. I live in a small town. It would have been handled completely differently, but because these cops did not know these people, they were just standing there awkwardly. So I gave up. I freaked out. I left. So the next morning I went back over there and I just expressed in gratitude how grateful I would be to have my wallet back. And I kept expressing how I canceled all my credit cards, how it would be useless for anyone to have, and that I would be so grateful. And I literally said that I would pay to have it back. And when I said that, all the people around me were like, oh no, you don't have to pay. And all these people were helping me look for it. One of the girls that were there explained to me to a T. I'd never expressed to what my wallet looked like beforehand. She's like, oh, is it the one with the little bunny ears? And I looked at her, I was like, yeah, why, do you have it? And she's just like, oh, and her whole energy shifted. She's like, oh, it's because I had one. It was a panda before, and you guys, my intuition, I knew deep down that this woman, these people conspired. I know that they knew because they were making it very obvious. Like, people are not good at lying, and I'm very aware at telling when people are lying. I could tell right off the bat that they were lying to my face, and I kind of made it obvious that I knew it was there and that they had it, but I was being very genuinely nice because I did not want to burn my bridges with these people, and they just threw my wallet into the fire, right? So I was being as careful as I could be and as genuine and as concerned, showing my concernness for my wallet, because I did not want to have to go and like rebuy and recreate. It would have been such a headache, especially for my license, because I need that piece of ID to send back. I could just tell that they weren't going to help me find it, so I left. So before I left, I expressed to the guy that I was like, I ended up crying. I was so upset and distraught over this that I started crying, and I was just expressing how deeply I needed this, and their demeanor changed. As they saw me crying, they were like, well, you know what, if you left it here, it should be here, it should come up. And I was like feeling a little bit hopeful at that point. I still had faith they'd find it. And then all of a sudden this girl comes in with someone else's whole ass wallet. But the way she explained it to me is I thought she found my wallet. So I was all excited. And then she's like, but it's red. And I'm like, it was clearly someone else's wallet. So at that moment, I truly had faith that I was like, okay, if they're willing to show me that they have someone else's wallet and they're gonna give it back, in my heart, I was like, well, hopefully they give mine back. So by this day, it's Saturday, and then Sunday rolls around. I'm not very hopeful. Monday rolls around, and at this point, I have an appointment to renew my medication. And on my way home, I was starting to lose faith. I just kept thinking about how much of an issue it's going to be to just get a new piece of ID just to get all my other ID, right? And so I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little bit emotional, and I finally kind of accepted the fact that I'm not gonna get this back. And as soon as I accepted that fact, I got a text message from this person being like, hey, and I'll just show the messages because it just shows, okay? Because I was expressing so much gratitude when I found when they gave it back. I hugged them. I was so grateful. But you know, you guys, like, honestly, after someone steals your shit and you're able to get it back, I feel like as a lesson, you shouldn't, like, I wasn't about to go hang out with these people again. I wasn't about to go put myself in this situation again. But for them, it's like it went right over their head, and they just started getting angry over the fact that I wasn't responding, that I wasn't being as happy-go-lucky. I was just grateful that I got my wallet back. I told them beyond words that I was grateful. Regardless, in church today, our main topic was never losing faith, and that just fits so perfectly because it really does go to show that God works in so much mysterious ways, and God works in our favor when we believe. And even when we lose faith, God will always come through and show us and prove to us that He is here. He is working with us. He believes in us. He has His protection covered over us. And no matter what happens, as long as we pray. And the crazy thing is because I was supposed to go to church last weekend, and I told the lady that I was with what happened, she had other people praying for me at church. And you know, prayer makes mountains move. I truly believe that with their prayer helped just change the whole directory of everything that happened, because these people could have easily thrown it into the fire, especially because I called the cops. You know, that would have pushed anyone over edge. But I am grateful beyond words because I'm just grateful. And even though one of my credit cards were missing from it, I got that canceled. Everything's canceled. Everything's being renewed. I just have to wait for the mail to come in, and everything's good to go. So I'm very, very grateful. And the only reason why I'm making this video today is just to give people that understanding that never lose faith, no matter how hard, no matter how dark, no matter how dingy things get. Never lose faith, because God is always conspiring and transpiring and creating some sort of way for things to happen. And I am just beyond grateful right now. And I just want to spread God's message of never losing faith, just to be faithful through absolutely everything that we're facing in the current times right now. Because no matter what, God's protection is number one, and we have to stay strong with that. We cannot come short and fall short into the hands of the enemy. So I just wanted to say that, you guys, that I am just so grateful, and I just want to spread this awareness to know that, you know, never lose faith no matter how hard your situation might look, okay? God is always protecting you, always looking out for you. Don't ever feel hesitant to reach out to God and ask Him, to praise Him, to thank Him, to be grateful for Him. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys back in another video soon. Peace.